Well, I figured it's about time that we got to the star in Star Joe, so here we go. Welcome to Star Joe's. I'm your host Ryan, and today we're going to be covering Star Wars Annual Number 2 by Marvel Comics. Now, Star Wars Annual 2 is written by Kelly Thompson, and the art is by Emilio Laso. Now, this is the second annual created by Marvel Comics ever since they took over the Star Wars licensed property. As many of you know that have followed Star Wars over the years, Star Wars used to be comics written and drawn by creators at Dark Horse Comics. But with Disney taking over the Star Wars property and them also owning Marvel, it seemed like a logical fit for Star Wars to come back over to Marvel, which is really where they started as a comic series. Now, I was a little hesitant when I found out that Marvel was going to be taking over Star Wars because I loved so much of what Dark Horse had done over the years. They created new characters, they created new timelines, and all of that pretty much got wiped out. Now, Marvel has recognized that these stories are very popular amongst the fans of Dark Horse over the years. So what they've done is they've kind of viewed these as like alternate storylines, alternate realities, basically an alternate world. And they're known as the Legend series. Marvel's been reprinting a lot of these classic stories that Dark Horse created, and they've actually done a pretty good job of releasing them out to the public. Now, when they did actually start taking over creating new material, they've actually done a pretty amazing job. If you went away from the Star Wars comics because they were no longer with Dark Horse, I have to say you're probably missing out on some pretty cool stories. They haven't done a whole lot when it comes to creating all new timelines or anything like that, but they are creating a lot of new characters. And in Star Wars Annual Number 2, they do create a new character. There's a character named Pash Devane, and she goes by the nickname of Bash. And how she gets that nickname is she's a very big, strong character who worked as an underwater engineer, but when she comes to the planet that she's currently on, she's pretty much more or less a janitor now. And when she came to the planet that she's on, she ended up getting into a fight, and she used a giant rock to basically bash the head of some people around there, and she got the name Bash. And her name's Pash, so it kind of makes sense that you make that easy transition. Now, in the story, Bash actually comes across Princess Leia. It's not really shown exactly what happened, but Princess Leia is very badly injured, and Bash really can't just leave her be, even though a lot of Imperial troopers are showing up, there's bounty hunters showing up, because they all know that somewhere on this planet and somewhere in this city is the princess, the leader of the rebellion. So a lot of the story does take place where the Star Wars series for Marvel is taking place, which is right after A New Hope. Now, Bash has Princess Leia inside her very humble abode, and the droid that is actually taking care of Princess Leia and trying to nurse her back to health goes by the name of Bruce. Now, this is one of the things that I found to be very clever, and I don't know if it was meant to be clever, but I really, really want to give the creators credit for this because I have to imagine it was done on purpose. So the droid's name is Bruce, and for those that you know Star Wars backstory and everything else, George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, is best friends with Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg created the movie Jaws, an all-time classic and favorite of mine. Well, Jaws, in the behind the scenes, the actual mechanical shark was named Bruce. So with Bash being an underwater engineer and having a droid named Bruce, it seems logical reason that this was done completely on purpose, and I thought that was a very nice touch in the story. Now, when it does come to the overall story, it's really not anything spectacular, but it's really not anything bad either. It's just an okay story. You have an adventure going on with Bash and Princess Leia. She, again, is very badly injured, so that does play a factor into how she's getting around and what they're able to do. She's not swinging around. She's not taking out troopers. Bash pretty much takes over that role to help her get out of there. Now, that's not to say that Princess Leia isn't a weakling in the story in any stretch of the imagination. In fact, she's really tough concerning the wound that she is dealing with. She does think that her end is coming near, and because of this, she's giving everything she can. It should be no surprise, and this really isn't a spoiler based on where the story takes place, but obviously Princess Leia survived. So I'm not really spoiling anything for you in regards to that. It is interesting to find out about this new character, Bash. It is a character that I hope that we see in the future. I can certainly think an underwater engineer could play some factors with the Mon Calamari and Admiral Akbar in the future. I hope it's not just a wasted character that we see for this one issue, although it seems like possibly it could be. I'm just really hoping that this isn't like a one and done story, that we never see anything from it ever again. But unfortunately, it does have that feel. The art is good in the issue. There's a lot of action happening. It's standard art. It's standard comic book art. And that's not a bad thing at all. It's just that it is standard art. It's something that you could enjoy reading and then put it down and move on to the next issue. So because of all that, I will give Star Wars Annual number 2 a 0.5 shell rating. Like I said, I enjoyed the issue. I liked reading it, but it's something that down the line I probably would forget about. It's something that if you have the opportunity to read it, I do suggest reading it. It's not really an issue that you need to go out of your way to find. If you have a friend that has it, or your local comic shop still has a copy of it, it's probably worth picking up and reading. Especially if you're a big Star Wars fan, but you're probably not going to remember it by the time Rogue One comes out. And with that being said, Rogue One is coming out at the time of me recording this, just within less than a week. So I do plan on actually getting out some more Star Wars comic book reviews for you. And most likely I'm going to actually do just a quick movie review for you guys after I see it. I'm actually going to go see it the Thursday it comes out, as early as I possibly can. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I hope you guys are too. So, but let me know what you think when it comes to the Marvel taking over the Star Wars comics, and let me know what you think about some of the characters that they've created. So let me know what you thought of Star Wars Annual number 2, and how do you think Marvel's been doing when it comes to the Star Wars titles now that they've taken them over? Like I said, I'm really enjoying what they're doing overall. There's been a few that have been kind of misses for me, but overall, I think Marvel's been doing an excellent job. But I really want to hear what you think as far as how they've been doing. And are there any titles that you've been really enjoying? Which ones have you not been enjoying? And is there anything you're looking forward to that Marvel could be doing or might be doing in the near future? Really want to hear all about that in the comments below, and I'll certainly respond to as many of them as I can. Now, if you like this video, please click that like button, and if you want to see more of these videos, please click that subscribe button. You'll get notified anytime a new review comes available. I'm going to be trying to get them out a lot faster for you. I have a lot more reviews. I also have something special that I'm working on right now that'll come out in the new year, and something a little bit different than what I've been doing the last few videos to start this channel. So look forward to that coming out in the near future. I think it is something you're going to have a lot of fun with. So with that, we'll go ahead and close this episode by saying the Force will be with you, because knowing us is half the battle. Take care, guys.